Hey guys, this is Christopher Rausch, the creator of the KICKASS Guide to Life, coming to you answering a Facebook question. I like doing these random questions where people just ask me stuff and I put out a video right away to address it. Tonight's question involves, why do people have commitment issues? And when I was thinking about the question, it happened just a little bit ago and I've been doing some other stuff, but when I was thinking about it, I thought, okay, there's either like work-related commitment issues or there's personal relationship commitment issues. Or also another area I deal with is commitment issues in following through with your goals. Tonight I'm gonna probably focus more on relationship issues because I think that's where a lot of people struggle. And first and foremost, I think that commitment issues come from a lack of genuine, authentic self-confidence. And from that, I mean that they don't actually believe in themselves enough to carry through with the commitment, whether it is, with their job, whether it is with their particular goals, or with it being relationships. In my personal experience, I've coached quite a few people on relationship commitment issues, and the number one reason is usually fear of rejection. People are afraid that if they put themselves in there, that they're going to get hurt, or they're going to get rejected, or they're not going to be able to be the person that the other person needs and deserves, so they don't commit. And they actually, they stay away because they're afraid of getting hurt based on past relationships and what they've had. When you think about that, it's really also another aspect you can look at it is they're being selfish. And I know that sounds crass, but it actually is. They want their cake and eat it too. They feel, okay, if I don't have to commit to this person, then I can sit there and play the field and I can have the best of all the parts and not have to do the struggling, do the working, do the sacrificing, stay in it when it's ugly and it's tough. And that's what commitment really is. It's the good times and the bad times. And these particular individuals, depending on which situation you're looking at, are not having that faith and that belief that they can actually do it. Or they're just egotistical and they don't want to make that sacrifice. I've actually seen also people that have been really good and that want to make the commitment, but the people in their lives are sitting there saying, no, you don't need to do that. Why buy the cow when you have the milk, when the milk is free? So you got these friends and these family members that are actually preventing people from getting into committed relationships because why? That takes that person away from them. I had that particular experience with my mother. My mother actually was like, okay, she didn't want anybody to be, my wife because she thought that it would mean less of me to be able to give to her. And in some respects, that was actually true, but why deny your son the opportunity to be happy? But what I'm saying is I've actually just recently talked to somebody who was going through that, and their best friend didn't want them to get in a relationship because it was like, okay, we're going out and we're doing this and we're doing that. We've all experienced it. We've all seen it. Somebody gets married and all of a sudden, you don't get along with your best friend anymore because your priorities change. When you get into commitments, your priorities change. You got to stay with it. So it's really, that's basically my reasons why people don't stay in committed relationships or they don't commit. Now let's talk about what are some of the possible solutions. Number one, you can actually go out and get self-help. You can read books, you can watch videos, you can go to seminars, you can do that. I've seen lots of people, I've told them, hey, read this particular book and then talk to me about it. And it's actually helped them out quite a bit. You could actually go see professional help. If you realize that you're not committing, then, go see a counselor or go see a psychiatrist and go talk about that and let it all out. Whether it's something that's stemming from when you were a kid or you've had some bad relationships, go find out why you're fucked up and get some help and move on from that, because ultimately it leads to my next tip. You got to think about the big why. I'm all about what is your why. When you have a big enough why, you have a big enough how. And you think about that. And like, if you're having fun now and everything's really groovy, think about when you're going to be in the hospital and who's going to be there to take care of you. Who's going to be there to take care of your animals? What's the long-term goal? Do you want to wind up being old and alone and regretting the fact that you were just a pussy and you didn't want to commit? I mean, come on, what kind of life is that? That's not a kick-ass life. No, it isn't. It's not at all. One of the things that people who have commitment issues, they have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think that's a big part of it, is they just want, all the fun and the excitement. They want the short-term gratification. without putting any investing of themselves into that. And that's not what relationships are about. That's not what commitment's about. I've committed recently to losing weight. I just did an MRI where it was a closed tube chamber. I committed to it. I was like, I can do this. I can do this. You have to have that faith and that belief. Another opportunity, if you don't want to do professional, psychiatric care or whatever, you can get a coach. I happen to help quite a few people with that. Get them taking baby steps. Okay, here's what we're going to do first. Here's what we're going to do second. And ultimately, it's about changing their belief patterns. It's really about that. You have to change the programming that's gone into that person and change it around so that they realize that, relationships are tough. They take work. You don't just get to have all the great stuff. So that's my advice. There are the reasons for it, and there are some possible solutions for it. But what I would say to you guys out there, if you're dealing in relationships where somebody doesn't want to commit, how do you value yourself? On a scale of 1 to 10, do you value yourself at an 8 or a 9, or are you valuing yourself at a 6? And trust me, I have talked to a lot of women who they're settling. And who wants to settle? Who wants only part of a person? You don't deserve part of a person. You deserve a whole part of a person. So, it goes for you as well. What kind of self-confidence do you have? Are you being a mother? Are you being an enabler? I'll just do that because I don't think I can get any better. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to settle for that. I've seen that in lots of cases too. I could actually keep rambling on, but I want to keep this video somewhat short, and it's already about 6 minutes. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you guys. And depending on where I post this, list your comments below of why you think people have commitment issues and some of the experiences that you've had, either yourself overcoming them or helping somebody else go through that experience also. Because really, my last final thought is the grass is greenest where you water it. So that's my advice. I'm Christopher Rausch, Christopher at ChristopherRausch.com, RAUSCH. Hit me up with a question. If you have anything or if you got some thoughts on this, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Thanks a lot for the question. You can always hit me up, and that is it. Have a great one.